Man, I'm telling you, here recently, this is the best time to be an Xbox fan, a gamer in general. We had such a huge Monday for Xbox, and I want to talk about it. But before we get on to the video, definitely hit that like button if you guys enjoyed the video. You can always subscribe to the channel for weekly content, and don't forget to go over there and follow me at Twitter at LordAddictILP. Without any further ado, let's talk about this crazy day that happened before I even woke up. What's going on, you guys? Gaming out here, coming at you for another video. Look, man, we gonna talk about a few topics today, and really like the stance that I feel like Xbox is at right now and how well they've been doing the past couple months. So this morning I woke up, there was a lot of rumors going around about Outriders coming to the Xbox Game Pass day one, and I woke up this morning and it was officially on Twitter. Xbox have came out openly and said it will be on the Xbox service, not the PC service. I know a lot of people are disappointed with that, and to a point I definitely understand that, because Microsoft does say that they want to really capitalize on the PC market, but it does seem like they go a little bit half in when it comes to the Game Pass model. I do feel like they should both be equal, but you know, maybe because it's on PC and they don't want to interrupt too much on the Steam sales, that it would be a lot more money to get it on the PC Game Pass. I don't know, I digress, but I just want to point out that this is huge. Outriders, regardless how you feel about it, and I know a lot of you played the demo and didn't really see a lot of potential there. I myself played the demo and I thought there was a lot of issues the game was going to have, especially day one, but I did see potential there. And you guys know I'm a huge Destiny fan, and I've always kept it real with these type of games, but when it comes to the Outriders, I liked what I played. I can't help. I think the biggest thing that we can take here is the fact that Game Pass is going to be a little bit more aggressive in terms of getting day one games in their service. Now, for me personally, I don't really think going at these type of games to get day one games into Game Pass is the way that I would prefer Microsoft to go. I would like for them to focus more on their first party studios like they have been, and make sure that the selling point to Game Pass, to their own platform, is their own games. But I do understand that right now those games aren't out. Obsidian isn't launching Avowed tomorrow. Fable isn't coming out tomorrow. Halo Infinite's coming out the end of the year. They need something to get people to those dates, to those games. So what do you do in a situation like that when you have these games that's in the oven but they're not out yet? You do what you always do. You go to other developers, other publishers, and you ask them, what is it going to take for this game to come on my service? And it looks like they did that with Square Enix. Now, I do think the reason that they did that, and I think the reason that Outriders is coming to Game Pass, is because it's an unproven game. Square Enix knows that, you know, Outriders might have a hard time selling. So what do? You let this game for a sum of money go on these services that already have millions of people on them. You let them have the opportunity to buy these games after they leave the service. I personally believe that Outriders isn't going to be in Game Pass very long. I would say anywhere from 3 to 6 months. I don't know the exact context and the agreement that Square Enix and Microsoft made, but to me, the perfect way of really helping this game grow is to put this in Game Pass for 3 to 6 months, and then right when that 3 to 6 month duration ends, drop a huge expansion that's coming to Outriders, and where it's leaving Game Pass, the people that enjoyed Outriders that was in that service can go out and just pick it up on the store, or they can go to their local mom and pop stop or even GameStop if they choose to. And I think that would be a good way of really coming out and helping this game sell well in the long run, not the short run, because a lot of people were feeling what they were playing on the Outriders, and I know a few people that, you know, the game definitely needs a little bit of improvement. I'm hoping with Game Pass they can get this to the next level. Now, we all know that Microsoft finally went out there and they bought Bethesda. It is everywhere. The official agreement has been done, and what happens? What happens the first thing that they do? They introduce the new FPS Boost mode to 5 of the Bethesda games. They did it with Dishonored, the original game, the definitive edition, Fallout 4, Prey. They did it with the Fallout 76 Steel Edition, and they did it with probably Bethesda's biggest game ever made, Skyrim, The Elder Scrolls 5. This is a big big move because it shows that they are 100% behind supporting Bethesda, and they're using these nice little features that Microsoft has been able to develop in-house to enhance these Bethesda games. Backwards compatibility have always been one of the big key points that Microsoft is using to sell the Xbox Series X and S, and it's nice to see that even though that the Xbox Series X and S are already out, that they're continuing to invest into this feature. And it's like I said, Elder Scrolls V Skyrim is one of the biggest RPGs to ever be made, and the fact that you can go on an Xbox Series X and S and play that at 60 frames goes a long way. And let's not to mention, Fallout 4 may have been a disappointment to a lot of RPG fans such as myself, but it's still a very good first-person action adventure game, and you'll be able to go and play that at 60 frames. Fallout 76 Still Dawn, as much as I don't play those type of games, that's not the type of Fallout game I want. There's no denying that that has been extremely successful ever since they patched it up and they got the game working properly. And not to mention, you guys know how I feel about Dishonored. They're amazing games, and I feel like right now, if you're watching this video and you got Game Pass, go download Dishonored and play that at a smooth 60 frames. And speaking of games running better, you guys know I'm a huge fan of the Outer Worlds. I felt like that was the Fallout 4 that I deserved, that they stepped to the foundation that made those games great. Well, Outer Worlds is coming out and it's going to be 60 frames on the Xbox One X and the PS4 Pro, so I guess that means that their counterparts on the Xbox Series X and S and on the PS5 will run 60 frames as well. It does look like the final expansion is going to be coming out real soon, so that's going to be something that people are really going to enjoy, and I'm glad that that game is 60 frames, but I still want that Xbox Series X patch. Microsoft, work on this, get this done, we need this. Now, for those of you that listen to what I said, you know that I said the Xbox and the PlayStation got that Outer Worlds patch too, but they deserved that. They bought that game, they deserve the better frame rate if one is available. But it's nice to know that I can play the Outer Worlds at a frame rate that I enjoy. Microsoft is definitely on a good roll. They have a lot of good information coming out just about weekly. They finally announced that Bethesda games are going to be exclusive to the Game Pass and Xbox ecosystem, which that is a very good value if you want to go out and buy an Xbox. And I'm, for one, thrilled about it. I feel like this is a different beast than there was last generation. This is no longer the Microsoft that ran the Xbox One brand. This is a new Microsoft. This is a Microsoft that has been preparing the entire Xbox One generation for this generation. I do have a feeling that when Phil Spencer took over the Xbox brand, and I feel like he knew that it was going to be almost impossible to save the Xbox One brand, that the damage that was done to it at the beginning was so bad that it was going to be a very hard task, if not impossible, to bring that brand back to what it should have been. So what did he do? He put all his baskets into the Xbox Series X and S, and he built that roadmap to be able to get to the point where we are at today. If you guys remember, he said services, hardware, and games. Now, I don't know exactly what order it was. I think he said hardware, services, and games, but that's exactly what he did. He gave us the Xbox One X to get rid of the power narrative. He gave us the services to bring value to the console. When you can go out and buy an Xbox Series S or X and you can leave with Game Pass, the service that they built to give the system value, to give it to that point where it's price effective for you to get this console, that really helped out. Then he bought Bethesda and he started 4 or 5 studios, and he opened more studios as time went on to make sure that when the ball goes running in this generation, that they would always have games to continue Game Pass's legacy and keep people in the service. And we know that they're not done. We know that just because they bought Bethesda for $7.5 billion, that the CEO of Microsoft himself came out and said, we are not done shopping. I completely think that in the next year and a half, we'll see another huge acquisition. But right now, I think Microsoft needs to focus entirely on their first party and make sure that those games are going smoothly, because I'm sure a lot of the studios are in that key components to development cycles to make sure that that game comes out as best as it can be. I think this is a great time to be a Microsoft fan and an Xbox fan in general, and I think that right now, Xbox is definitely the system that you can own as a primary platform, especially with Bethesda being announced that the majority of their games is going to be exclusive to the Xbox ecosystem in Game Pass. I think this is a phenomenal time to go out and pick up an Xbox, but sadly no one can get them because they're sold out everywhere. But anyway, tell me what you guys think. Put it in the comment section below. Is any of this news something that really, interests you? Do you care about any of the stuff I said with the FPS? What feature is something that Microsoft has done to keep you in the ecosystem? I'm very curious on that. To me, it's the FPS mode. I love knowing that, there's a good chance I'm going to be able to play these older games at a 60 frame rate, because when I went to PC, I got spoiled a little bit in the 60 60 frames, and I don't really like playing games that aren't at that 60 frame rate mode. But anyway, tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. This is Gaming Addict. I'm out of here. Peace.